Hello and welcome. My name is Lisa, and right now we're going to work on the medieval letter U. U is useful for all sorts of cool names like Ursula and... Oh, now I'm drawing a blank. Well, Ursula is a good name. Ukwendu, Uther Pendragon. Alright, so we got watercolor paper, we got a pencil and eraser, we've got waterproof ink so it doesn't smear, and then we've got watercolors and a brush. You can use whatever colors you want. You can add in whatever designs you would like. Alright, so we're going to start by drawing the design in pencil. Alright, a U is sort of a cool shape because it's got two pillars on either side and then a swoopy part in the middle. And the question is, how do you want to connect these things together? You can make it a big curve so you don't have the pillars on the side. You can have the pillar on one side and then the U coming over to it. Why don't we do that? So it's good to always leave space on all four edges of the paper that you're working with so that if this gets matted, the mat does not cover up any key elements of the design. Watercolors in general should be matted so that the surface of the paper stays separate from the glass above it. Alright, I like a big curvy thing. So I'm going to start here, bow out, come around and back up. I think I'm going to put a top like this on it, but then I'm going to bow out a lot. Let's see how this looks. That sort of looks like what I was hoping for. Let's change the top of this a little. Let's bring it a little more around. See, part of me wants to make this even curvier, but part of me likes the pillory feel to it. Alright, I think we'll go with that style. Alright, let's put some circles down the length of the pillar. We'll put a central area down in here. Alright, that did not quite swoop the way I would have wanted. Alright, the bottom of this U is a little thin. Sketching is an iterative process where you work on one area and then you see how that affects another area and so on until you reach a final whole that aims the way that you want it. Alright, I like that. I'm also thinking I want to do a U at one point that's far more curvier, but I think that is good for what I am aiming for right now. Alright, and I'm thinking violet thoughts. Well, let's put something in the middle here. Let's put a butterfly. A little closer there. Alright. So, we got you, we got a butterfly, we got some space for putting decorations in there. Alright, next up, the pen and ink. Remember to use a waterproof pen so it doesn't smear when we get to the painting stage. This is a Sakura Jelly Roll 06, but you can use whatever one you want as long as it is waterproof. Alright. Add in the circles. Adding in the curve. The top of the pillar. The curve of the U. And now the butterfly. The little spiral antennas, which I am told do not actually exist in nature, but that is okay. This is our own fantasy butterfly, and it can have whatever kinds of spirally antennas we want it to have. And who knows, maybe there are spirally antenna butterflies out there that have simply not yet been found. Or maybe this is a moth. Alright, so we have our shape inked out. Give that a moment to dry, because ink seems like it goes on instantly dry, but it actually goes on wet. And if we smear it a little, it will smear right now. Alright, and I think I want to do violet. And I think I will do this violet here, which is the Phoenix Violet. The violets are all slightly different from each other. Hopefully this ink is now dry, so it does not smear. So it's funny how you could get something that's called violet from 4 different manufacturers, and all their colors are just slightly different from each other. You know, it's not like one is orange and one is green. They're all violet-ish, but they all have their own particular ways of representing violet. So it's a good idea, and that's part of the beauty of working with tubes, is I can figure out what kind of colors you like, and then get the tubes for those particular colors. Makes it less expensive. You run out of a tube, you just rebuy that one tube. You don't have to buy a whole kit. Decide that you don't like a particular color, you just empty out that one little bin and put a different color into that bin. So it's frugal in a number of different ways. Just try to neaten the edge over here a little better. Be careful not to put the heel of your palm down to any of this wet paint, because then you could put wet palm prints full of paint color everywhere. Alright, and then I'll do this pillar. Even though it's the same color, I'm working on them as 2 separate pieces so that they retain a little bit of that sense of separate segments of the object. I want to try to work reasonably quickly because I want to get around all these little holes and do this all while all of this is wet so the color flows into each other reasonably well. I'm already thinking ahead to the letter V, and I should not do that. I need to focus. Part of the beauty of watercolors is that it's meditative and helps you learn to focus, but that doesn't help if your mind is then going off in another direction and thinking about a completely different painting than the one you were working on. So I am working on a U. U for unicycle. U for unity. U for unusual. U for unicorn. could put a unicorn in this, but that might have been a little tricky. We'll stay with the butterfly for this round, so it does not turn into a 5-hour painting where we work on the unicorn aspects. Alright, I'll put a little more purple down here. Alright. I think I might make the center of the butterfly a lighter violet. Alright, give that a moment to dry while we think about the next color. I tend to often put yellows in with purple. On one hand, maybe I should try something else, but on the other hand, I just don't know which other color I would like as much. I could do maybe like a brown with the purple, but I really like yellow with purple. So maybe what I'll do is this time I'll go with a lemon yellow. Normally I go with more of a medium yellow, but we could try a bright lemon yellow and see how that looks. I have to give this purple a chance to dry a little, because if I put a color in wet right on top of the existing wet color, or not like literally on top of, but right next to, right adjacent to an existing wet color, then the colors will smear into each other. And that would not be the goal I was after. So we'll get a little lemon yellow. And then let's see. Be careful as I get near the edge, because if that purple is wet, it'll bleed right out all over this yellow that we're putting in. Normally, if I was painting this on my own, I would put it to the side and let it rest for like half an hour to make sure that that is really nice and dry. But you guys don't want to sit around and watch for half an hour as paint dries. Alright, looks like it's reasonably dry and not causing problems for us, so that's good. Still good to be cautious. Just takes one problem area to come out. Alright, so far, so good. Alright, let's try these little dots. This area is looking reasonably dry, but one never knows for sure if one is working this quickly. Well, I think we're going to be okay. That is excellent. Alrighty, let's make the butterfly wings yellow to go with our purple yellow theme. Adding a little texture to the wings. Alright, so we got the purple, we got the yellow, and I think I will add yellow dots into the surrounding purple. So I got some gold over here. I'll go with gold dots. Alright. Little dots put in. Alrighty. So it's still a little wet. I'm just putting a little smear of gold down the middle, so it doesn't really matter if it's too precise or not. Just sort of a little highlighting. Alrighty. There we have a letter U in violet and lemon yellow. So let me know if you have any questions about painting a letter U or watercolor painting in general, or anything that we have been working on. Let me know what else you'd like me to work on going forward once I get done with the alphabet series.